Well, first of all, Brad Holt, president of Atlantic Southeast Airlines, based down in Atlanta. Real quick overview, we operate all jet fleet of 160 airplanes, CRJ aircraft. Our biggest hub is Atlanta. Headquarters are in Atlanta. We have a hub in Dulles for United. Operate just less than 1,000 flights a day, and we carried a little over 13 million passengers last year. We're owned by SkyWest Inc. and a sister company to SkyWest Airlines.
Is that Dallas or Dulles?
Washington Dulles.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, I know that this has been a long day, and you're probably all have had just about enough, but not as much as Al, because Al's going to walk away from here and retire, and the rest of us have to stay and work. That's wrong, Al. But you deserve it. Done some great coverage of the group, and we really appreciate it. A few things that have gone on since we've talked last, I guess, would be a good place to start. Our airline has been in a rebuild process for about the last 36 months or so, as we recognize the need to serve customers better, increase our performance, and just overall do a ground-up rebuild of kind of a new regional, and that's kind of what we've been working on here for the last 36 months or so. Our people have done a great job of doing that. It's really been an advantage to us because we're performing very consistently, putting good numbers out there. Always have run a very safe, top-notch program down there in Atlanta, but sometimes struggle a little bit with on time out of Atlanta and some completion issues. We really have got past all that at this point, putting out a very consistent quality product thanks to the people at ASA and the hard work that they've done. And we're proud of that. That's helped us do some things over the last year that we probably would not have otherwise got the chance to do. We added 10 CRJ 900s to our fleet for Delta, and then we forged a new partnership with United Airlines that started February 11th, and we were operating 14 CRJs out of Washington Dulles for United at this point. I could go on and brag all day. I want to give you the opportunity to ask any questions. I just set up a few rules. The questions have got to be easy, but other than that, have at it. So,
sir, you've launched a new brand. What? All right, use that. Thank you. You launched a new brand only last Friday. What benefits do you want to reap from delivering that brand into the market? What have you got as your goals for the penetration of the brand into the public psyche?
Okay, good question. Somehow I knew that was going to come up, and I missed it on the introduction. It is kind of a big time for Atlantic Southeast on this front, and that is we have done a lot of work to rebuild our airline, put a new renewed face on it. We've got a really good program going now from the ground up, and along with that, I think the brand that we used up to this point, it was developed by Delta. It was to interface with Delta Connection program, which we're getting further and further away from as we kind of expand into with other partners. So I think we've been thinking about this for some time now. This was probably the best time to do it, in that we really do have some things to brag about from an operational standpoint and from a foundation standpoint. So externally, your question, I don't see a big bang outside of our internal marketing with our people. It's something our people have worked hard for, are proud of. They deserved a new brand, a new face, and a good long-term vision and plan, and that's really what I think we got out of this. Yes, sir.
A lot of the focus of the conference has been on safety. From your perspective, what are you doing to coordinate your safety policies with, say, Delta, and to make sure that you have a consistent standard across the board? And secondly, is the NTSB chairwoman this morning was talking about how the system where pilots come to regional airlines and build up their hours and then move to main lines should be rethought, because the regionals are now operating over 50% of the flights. Is there any way to get around that where you would be competing with, say, Delta to hire the same pilots?
Good questions, and I'll do my best. First, we work close with our major partners on safety programs, and everything we do is pretty transparent, has been transparent along the way. We meet regularly with both of our partners to just share information, and I think that's the big thing. The sharing of safety information has to be open and honest, and there can be no secrets, okay? That's I think the key to improved safety throughout the years. And to be honest with you, the rules, 121 is across the board, and it is one level of safety. We have to meet the same rules as everyone else. We all understand the rules and pass information freely back and forth. I think one thing that's happened over the last year or 18 months is that we've got better at having scheduled meetings more times than not on a monthly basis, just to share safety information. We've all had programs like ASAP, FOQA. We're all part of, we do IOSA inspections. We currently went through a LOSA program, LOSA inspection, which I think very few in the industry have done, other than Delta's probably the leader in that, and we've worked closely with them. We're working closely with them and met with them last week on SMS, which we're going to phase 2 of SMS by the end of the year. So, I really do think that the word just hasn't gotten out there, that we do work closely with our major partners and do the best we can to share information and be as transparent as possible. And we need to do a better job of making sure that everybody understands what we're doing, because we all are dedicated to safety, and it's unfortunate some of the things that have happened. We certainly are trying to improve every single day, and I'm not sure we'll ever be perfect, but we're sure working that way. So, yes, sir.
Take this from me. So you were talking about some of the operational, the good things that you've been talking about lately, but when it comes to baggage, you guys tend to be at the bottom of the pack. I know a lot of that isn't handled by you necessarily, but it still shows up under your name on the DOT report. So what can you do about that? What are you doing about that? Or is it something we have to, it just has to be lived with at this point?
Well, I'll say that it is, partly it's something we have to live with, because somebody has to be first and somebody has to be last, or you don't have a game, right? So I would just as soon not be last, and I agree that most of our bags we don't touch. At the same time, I don't blame that on the major partner. We have to take as much responsibility for it as anyone, and we work hard. Over the last year, the numbers have improved immensely. I have to tell you that, and that's a lot of hard work on I think our people's part to partner with Delta to make sure that our systems and procedures on the ground are working the way they should. And as on time and completion improves, that also improves bags.